First, let's talk to Bob Harris, who was the host of the Radio 2 country show for 20 years. Bob interviewed Dolly countless times. This is them together in 2023. Bob, just tell me the story and the emotions behind that amazing picture of you two.
She was in London to promote the Rockstar album, and I was very fortunate to spend some time with her talking about some of the songs on the album. And in particular, we talked about the fact that she was 4 months older than me, so we both came through the 60s at the same time. And, you know, she had so much joy and love in her. And I said to her that I felt that those qualities of love that we experienced in the mid-60s in 1967. I know that the hippie generation has been quite derided since, but I've always held on to some of the most important aspects of the message at that time. And I know that Dolly stood for unity across the world. And I think that that's one of the things that made her so very, very special.
I also wonder if that's a sort of pointer from her for how to deal with this news tonight, maybe?
Possibly, yes. I mean, I'm sure I speak for everyone. I'm really, really sad tonight. I really feel very emotional. She has been part of my life for the last, 60 years pretty much. And she's brought a light into everyone's life. I truly believe that. She was such a force for good. And, you know, she's going to be really missed. I feel very, very sad tonight.
And Suzi, thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight tonight. As a songwriter yourself, can you reveal to us just why she was so great? What's actually going on in those songs? What was her talent, really?
I think her talent, well, for me, was that she talked from her heart, she wrote from her heart, she sang from her heart, and she lived her life from her heart. And that actually touched everybody. You believed every word she said. You believed it.
But how did she do that? How did she achieve that?
By being a real person. End of story. What you see is what you get with her, and that's what's so beautiful about her. You know, you're looking at a real person.
I mean, and Suzi, as a rock chick, how do you feel that she handled her image and her femininity and the hair and the boobs and the rhinestones?
I think she had it down to a T. She knew exactly the image she wanted to create, and she went ahead and created it. But she didn't take it serious, like she said in many interviews. Well, she makes you laugh all the time. But poor little country girl. Look what she did. Look at the legacy she's left. Look at the love she's left behind. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a talent.
And Bob, she was also a businesswoman and a philanthropist. And for example, her big operation to send books to children across the world.
Do you know, this is beautiful. It's called the Imagination Library. And I truly feel that she's contributed so much to so many children's lives. Over 1 million children received a book a month, specifically addressed to them, packaged for them, and chosen to, match their interests and their loves in their lives. It's a beautiful, beautiful project.
And Suzi, people have been saying tonight that she didn't get involved in politics. She didn't comment on issues. But was she actually really doing that with some of her lyrics, and maybe just some of us didn't notice?
I don't think, I think I have exactly the same opinion, although I do have political opinions. I took the same page out of the book that she did. If you're a performer and entertainer, that's what you are. You don't use your platform to talk politics, and I respect her for that. I do the same thing. How are you, Bob?
I'm good, Suzi. It's good to hear you.
Good to hear you too.
And Bob, did you ever go to Dollywood, her theme park, which she said was actually a tribute to her roots as opposed to a business venture?
Yeah, she did, didn't she? No, I didn't. I spent a lot of time in Nashville and a lot of time in Tennessee, and to a certain extent in the Tennessee mountains as well, which was, they were her roots. So I feel like I sort of touched Dolly's world, but I never did go to Dollywood. But just one other quick thing, just following on what Suzi said, this ability that she had to not take herself too seriously, I think that was very, very important. And you mentioned the image. And I remember her saying years ago, she said, it cost me $1 million to look this trashy, you know. And it was typical of the way that she was prepared to joke about herself and take the mickey out of herself a little bit.
Bless her. Bless her.
And tonight, the Dollywood Foundation has said that her plan was that Dolly would be a project for the generations. So she was clearly had her eye on the long term. Suzi, I'm sorry to ask such a basic music question as this, but I'll do it anyway. What's your favourite Dolly track?
It's no competition for me. It's I Will Always Love You.
Because?
I Will Always Love You.
Suzi, I think that's such a beautiful song. Jolene, obviously, but my Tennessee Mountain Home is one of my favorites. She put out a series of bluegrass albums in the early 2000s. They were really, truly beautiful and very much rooted in her upbringing. And so I'm going to go for that.
For me, it's Hard Candy Christmas, which is not a famous one, but still brings a tear to the eye. Suzi, for people who are maybe a bit younger and didn't grow up with Dolly Parton, what are the moments from her life that really explain who she was and who she became? Oh, I think we might have lost Suzi there. We'll try and reconnect with her. But Bob, I'll ask you the same question. You knew her so well. As you said, you kind of grew up at the same time as her. What were the kind of the key moments of her life that just explained who she was?
I wouldn't necessarily say that there are key moments. I think it was the whole package, if you like. It was Dolly as she was. I mean, even in the very, very early days, even before she met Porter Wagoner in Nashville, it was Porter really who helped catapult her into stardom. She had a natural, lovely energy about her, which I think people really, really responded to. So, I mean, from day one, almost as a young girl going to Nashville, Tennessee, this wide-eyed kind of innocence and open-heartedness that characterized her, I think it touched people in a very big way.
And of course, I Will Love You, which is Suzi's favourite Dolly Parton song, was written kind of as a breakup song with Porter Wagoner because he'd been her mentor and she was leaving him. So it wasn't a love song to a lover, it was a love song to a collaborator, a colleague, a mentor.
Oh, I like to think of it as a love song to her husband.
It's incredible to think.
Oh, Suzi, you think it was actually to her husband?
And she wrote that song. Yeah, she wrote I Will Always Love You and Jolene on the same day. I mean, that's absolutely incredible.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, Suzi, I was going to say, how do you sum up what a creative achievement it is writing those two songs in one day? But you just did it in one word.
Wow. It's a big wow.
Yes. A great lyric there.
Yes.
The word legacy is kind of overused, and it's very hard to sort of sum up somebody who wrote 3,000 songs and did so much. But Suzi, how would you like the world to remember Dolly Parton tonight?
As one of life's treasures to be treasured for always. What she stood for, what she said, what she believed in, and even with all that fame, feet on the ground. How could you not love her? How can you not love Dolly Parton? You can't. It's impossible.
And Bob, I'll give you the last word.
As a force for unity and love in the world.
Bob, thank you very much. And Suzi, thanks for joining us this evening.
Thank you.